All right, we are live. So, as we can see, uh, I'm here to present you guys TokenWar.World, uh, gaming to revive local economies. Okay, so how can we turn $3 into sustainability? That's the objective right now. So, about the promoter of the project, my name is Nandy Martin. My innovations have been covered in the past from the LRN to Miami Herald. I was very excited when Forbes India published my work, also Cointelegraph many times. So my innovations have been featured in many publications, as you can see. And in the last 2 years, I've been focusing into token war. So the problem we are solving, there's new tariff of 10 to 40% that are hurting the Caribbean and African economies. And also you have US aid that have cut $7.5 billion in funds to Africa and the Caribbean. So what does it mean on the real? That means local businesses need local customers, and the youth need a Gen Z economy. So our solution is Token War, a mobile game that helps African economies grow. So how are we going to grow these economies? The funds have to come from somewhere, right? So we're going to share ad revenues. We're not reinventing anything. So every time somebody plays the game, there's 1 cent that is generated, and that cent is injected in the local economy of the country playing the game. So while mobile gaming works, so we're going to show you the real potential. The gaming market is booming, projected to reach 256 billion in revenue by 2025, which is today. And the African market grows 6 times faster than the globe, from 1.8 billion in 2024 to 2.39 billion in 2025. So, what are the market validators for the gaming? Well, there are 49 million plus gamers across Africa and the Caribbean. 800,000 token war players. That's what we need by 5 years to make a difference in our countries. That's only 0.4% market penetration. The good thing is 87% of gamers in Africa and the Caribbeans are mobile gaming players. So, what is our targeted market? We have the Black America and the Caribbean and Africa. And through these numbers right here, you want to see why these markets are so important. So if you look into smartphone penetration, is 90% now in Black America, including the Caribbean. In African, they projected to be 87% by 2030. The median age is 27% in Black American Caribbean and 19 years old in Africa. So if you're looking for mobile game players, you got to find it into these age 27 and 19 years old, which are the demographic that we are targeting. The GDP, and this is where the real potential is, you have a GDP of 1.4 trillion in Black America, including the Caribbean, and 2 trillion in Africa. And when you look into the unbanked, that means people that don't own a bank account, 30% in the Americas and 50% on banks in Africa. That creates an amazing market for crypto adoption. So, with Token War, what we are actually doing, we are integrating 12% year over year increasing growth of the gaming market, and we added to the 30.7% year to year increase of the crypto adoption market in Africa, including the Caribbean. So, what is our competitive advantage at Token War? It's the diaspora. $32 billion sent back home every year. Let me repeat it again. Us, the diaspora, and this is only for 6 countries. We send $32 billion back home because we care about our people. We care about our countries. For example, in Haiti, the GDP of Haiti, 30 to 40% of Haiti's GDP is based on the remittance of Haitians sending money back home. But we're not alone. You have 23,700,000 people, each sending $520 to $3,000 every year. And Jamaica, Haiti, Nigeria, Benin, and Kenya, which are the main market that we are targeting to get started. So instead of sending $3 to our people to buy imported things like imported rice. So as you can see, we work hard for the $3. And when you send it back home, it's still a negative $3 because the rice that they buy from it is the imported rice. So instead of that, you send $3 to sponsor one player back home. And that player that you sponsor, each player that you sponsor can bring up to $10 in advertisement revenue that boost your country's token. So basically, what are we talking about? Let's go back. You take $3 and you sponsor a player. The player plays the game, and through the advertisement system that we have, that players will generate up to $10 into the economy. So, but what happens to the $3 that you sponsor with? From the $3, there's $1 that goes straight through to buy local token, and of course, you have another dollar that goes to the charitable trust. So, what you have in total, if you look into the economy, is $10 from advertisement plus $1 from your sponsorship that goes to increase the value of the token that you own. So your player makes your token even more valuable by purchasing local things with it. So basically, if we go back, because we have to go back to really understand how amazing this opportunity is. So instead of sending $3 to buy imported things like rice, you sponsor a player for $3. That player, through our platform, generate $10 in advertisement revenue. And that $10 add up to the $3. It creates a pot of $11 total that goes to increase the value of the tokens that you own. So your players now, with the increasing value of the token, they can go to their local vendors and buy local produce with it, local products. We hear nowadays we hear about innovations when it comes to cars and Burkina Faso's. You have in is it Rwanda? You have flat screen TVs. You have so many innovations coming in Africa and the Caribbean, but there's no backing. And even for the agriculture, our farmers and our producers, they're fighting constantly people bringing products within the market. So with Token War, what we're doing, we're giving you the power to sponsor one player for $3. That player plays the game to increase the value of the tokens. And as we put the ad revenue into the token, it allows them to buy the produce from the farmers. So now, let me show you. We already have traction on the ground. We have 20 plus vendors that have already uh, applied to receive a grant from Token War. The vendor that you see here is a vendor in Kenya. And we already have 850 players that are ready to be sponsored. The players have applied since last August 2024. They have applied to receive the captain token of their choices. We have Kenya, Nigeria, Benin, Haiti, Jamaica, and Black America. So, why is it war? Since it's such a positive thing. Well, you heard about the uh, tariff war, you heard about trade war. Well, now we're entering into the digital economy, and the digital economy is based on token. So for once, we're gonna take one step forward before the rest of the world. Okay, so the token war is to getting the diaspora of each country, the players and the vendors, to team up and rank their token number one. So as you can see, we have Nigeria, Kenya, Haiti, Captain FBA, that is Captain Black America, Captain Benin, and Captain Jamaica. So now each of these countries are competing against each other to rank their token number one. So how do you rank number one actually? Well, 30% of ranking is based on the players. So the players play the game and they score point. When the point scored within the game counts for 10%, and they can win prizes and cash. Then you have the token earned that represent 10% of the score. The token earned for countries' community projects. So when they earn token in the game, they don't earn token for their personal gain. The token is placed in a community pot. So as the value of the token increase, the community pot is able to finance local project. Are we going to finance books for the schools? Are we going to finance tech hub? Are we going to finance a football court? So depending on the interest of the locals, this is how we're going to decide by voting with the tokens that have been earned within the game, which projects we're going to finance. And also, the last category is token burns. So every time the players are playing the games, they are burning part of the circulating supply of the token. I don't want to get too technical here, but what you have to understand is the more players play the game, the more it increases the ranking of your token. Our algorithm have established 30% of ranking based on the players playing the game. 30% is based on the diaspora funding the local products, the liquidity pool, and the charitable trust. So, simply put, the more the diaspora is sponsoring $3, the more they are funding the local products, the liquidity pool, and the charitable trust that makes the whole ecosystem going for your country. And now, 50% of the ranking is based on the diaspora, the players, the vendors trading but not selling their tokens. What do we mean by that? Let's take a second. So you have right here the diaspora that have his token. The local vendors have the token as well. And the players, they are allocated a certain amount of tokens. All three together, what they're doing, they're increasing the value of their token. But if the diaspora decide to sell his token, he's reducing the value of its token. He can cash out anytime. That's not a problem because it's a free market. We don't control the circulating supply of the token. We totally have relinquished the tokens. But if we keep the tokens, the diaspora, the vendors, and the players, every time value is being created and every time you increase the value of the token stays here. And when the token stays, the value stays within the token, what does it do? it attracts other people that wants to own the token as well. The same way that people are owning Bitcoin, they're owning Cardano, they're owning other tokens because they don't want to sell it off. They want to hold the value. Well, with the diaspora, the vendors, and also the players keeping the token, it helps your token stay valuable. And that's why 50% of the value is based on us not selling the token. Now, what do they win? When every month a country wins new capital from the foundation. Remember, when people when you sponsor a player, $1 goes to the local products. That means we have vendors that have applied to integrate their product into our ecosystem, and that dollar right here, it goes to pay with American money. We buy the product from them to be exchanged for tokens. Now $1 goes to the liquidity pool to increase the value of the token, and $1 goes to the charitable trust. What do we mean by charitable trust? So it's a trust, it's a foundation where the money goes to pay for our operation, marketing, and etc. But part of that money, it's also reserved in order to give, to inject, to buy prices, to inject more money into the tokens. So when we say that every month a country wins new capital from the foundation, so let's say we raise $300,000 in 1 month, and we want to allocate $50,000 to the winning country. So you play the game, you sponsor players, and by doing so, it increased the value of the token. And now your token is on rank number one. As you're being ranked number one with your token, at the end of the month, there's an extra $50,000 that the foundation is going to inject in your liquidity pool. That means everybody wins. So the more people play, the more people sponsor, the more you're generating the opportunity to welcome another $50,000 in your liquidity pool. Okay? So basically, guys, that $50,000, it comes from every country participating into the concept and everybody sponsoring for $3. But the thing is, it's war, it's a token war because it's a competition. And within that competition, when you outperform the other token, what do? You boost your local economy. So, is there a cheat code in token war? Yes. The cheat code of token war is to invite investors to boost your economy. Within the game, we have created WhatsApp buttons. So you use the WhatsApp and the X buttons in the game to attract $3 investment in your token. I'm not talking about sponsorship because you are already sponsoring it. So you have the sponsors that put $3 into the system, and the $3 is divided into three. We went through that already. Now what we're doing, we're inviting people outside of our economies to invest in the token, to buy the token. And to do that, you use the WhatsApp into the game, okay, with the WhatsApp button and the X button. So, what makes it a good investment for them to come and put some money into your token? Because, okay, it's beautiful. You guys are supporting the local vendors, the agriculture, innovation, and all that. But what's in it for me? So if you're talking to a Canadian, to a Chinese, to a Europeans, the same way that every country is trying to convince investors to bring capital into their country, why would investors bring capital into your token? Here's why. Because the sponsorship revenues plus, whoops, the sponsorship revenues plus the advertisement revenues have an impact in the token's value. And let's look into this 5-year growth of $3 invested today in the token. Okay. So the token price today is 0.0000539 cents. Okay, it's a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a penny. So if you buy $3 as an investment of the token, and our projection and sponsorship and advertisement revenue generated, after 1 year, the token price will grow to 0.001383. Okay. So your $3 investment value will grow into $1,000 in growth, which is a return multiple of 350 x. And by the way, these numbers are not created out of the blue. These numbers, as we saw before, they have been created by the Diaspora sponsoring players, and each player that they sponsor will play an average of 1,000 games. So when they play 1,000 games, it's 1 penny generated in advertisement per game they play. So that penny comes into what? That penny comes into the projection that you have right here in front of you. So we're not talking about an ecosystem where, for example, like Bitcoin, where hey, we need to invite the financial industry to buy into Bitcoin so Bitcoin could increase in value. No, because now what we're talking about, you inviting the diaspora and to sponsor players that's going to play the game, generating 1 penny per game, and that penny goes into the liquidity pool of the token. So what we have done here, we have used the technology of blockchain to propagate the opportunity to whoever owns a token. So the value of the advertisement gets into the token, and then when you buy the token before, like you will buy stock from Nike, Adidas, or Apple, when you buy the stock from these companies, it's because you expect to sell more shoes. Well, it's the same thing here. When you buy a token, you expecting more players to play the game to generate more revenues. So as more players playing the game and generating more revenues, they are increasing what? The value of the token, the same way that it will increase the value of the stock of Apple, Nike, or whoever by the increasing amount of sales. So the 5 year projection here is based on $3 invested today and the projection of more players playing the game. Now, how is it a cheat code to invite more people to invest into the token? It's the same way that you want, you're inviting people to invest in Nike. Why should I not invest in Nike today? Because we're about to sign the next Michael Jordan. What? Yeah. You see this player right here? Yeah. We already have an MOU with that player. As soon as they turn pro, that player turns pro, they're gonna sign with Nike. So you as an investor, you're like, you know what? Let me buy some stock of Nike because I'm projecting the sales of the shoes that player to have the same impact that Jordan had on Nike in the past. So here's how it is a cheat code. Here's what $3 could have become if these investors had invested in the starting prices of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, or Solana. So let's look into this. We took the top 5 crypto in 2025. If somebody had invested $3 in Bitcoin from the beginning, like you right now, you're inviting investors, or I'm inviting you to invest $3 into the token war, one token. Well, the increasing value of Bitcoin from the beginning to today, the Bitcoin will worth $1.3 million. The Ethereum will worth today about, I think it's, I don't remember that number, but as you can see in the graph, it's above 10,000. I think it's $63,000. Okay, so Binance above $10,000, Solana about $8,000. Okay, that is if you come in early before we have many players playing the games. So where do we generate these revenues? Again, The revenues are generated by advertisement with Google AdSense. Google advertisement. Captain Kenya, okay, based on 1% of the diaspora participating over 5 years. So 1% of the diaspora sponsor players that play the game, and now these sponsors, these players generating income, and now we are inviting investors. Well, your $3 could work from 1 year to $100 to $3 million. From and that we're talking about which one is it? Nigeria. Why will a token, the Nigeria token, go all the way to $3 million? Well, because they have more diaspora. I think the Nigerian diaspora is, let me go back to the Nigerian diaspora because I don't remember by heart, but we have the numbers right here. Okay. So the Nigerian diaspora, okay, it's 17 million people. Their remittance per year is $20 billion that they send per year to their back home. So they send $1,143 an average every year. But if you look into the Jamaican diaspora, there are 1.2 million people sending 3.7 billion per year. That's $3,000 per year. So of course, depending on the market, depending on the token, the revenue, the projected revenue is going to be different according to the market. And the revenues are generated by the amount of players, again, by the amount of sponsors, again, and what will create a massive impact. And this is why I call it the cheat code. What will create a massive impact is the amount of investors that you are welcoming into your token. And these are the plausible projection. I know these are wild numbers, but we're dealing with crypto here. So what are the impacts? So the tokens have a double impact. The tokens increase your personal wealth, and they also increase your country's GDP, because we are only buying prices from vendors within the country. The produce have to be produced from the country, the products, the technology. If we're dealing with Kenya and we want to give away a prize, we're going to look for cell phones made in Kenya. And when we find a cell phone, I've been looking for them, okay? But when we finally find a cell phone fabricated in Kenya, this is what we're going to pay. Let's say that cell phone is $200 per cell phone, and we have a budget of $1,000 to buy prizes to be exchanged in Kenya. So we're going to buy 5 cell phones from that Kenyan company, and we're going to make these cell phones available to be purchased by Captain Kenya tokens. So that alone have an impact on the GDP of Kenya. So that's what we mean by doubling it, the impact. So you guys understand how the tokenomics, the people playing the game and the people sponsoring the players increase the value of the token. So if you own the token, it increases your personal wealth. But on the GDP of Kenya, as we took as an example, they just sold 5 cell phones at $200 each. But the cell phone at $200 each, what brings the value of the token to buy the cell phones is the advertisement, is the sponsorship, but it's also the welcoming of the liquidity of the world wanted to invest in that token because there's traction. So, what are our milestones and our timeline? So basically, this is our roadmap to success. Okay. So in quarter 3, we are launching 6 countries. The one that I told you: Haiti, Benin, Jamaica, Nigeria, Kenya, and Black America. And then after that, in 2025, the fourth quarter, we're going to launch 10 countries, right? We're going to add four more countries. We have this week, we have interest from, what's the country? Somebody from Zimbabwe have requested to join as a partner to launch the Zimbabwe token. We have confirmed interest in Ghana. We also have confirmed interest in South Africa. Okay, and there's a fourth country. We haven't identified that fourth country that we will launch in the quarter on the fourth quarter of 2025. But as you understand, the goal is to get all these countries to compete with each other in order to increase the value of their token. Okay, and by doing so, we have a positive impact in their economy. Okay, so in the first quarter of 2026, this is when we want to integrate local payment systems within all these countries. Okay, um, by quarter three of 2026, we're going to launch community projects. So the community projects, if I can develop a little bit, not to get into them, it's the decentralized autonomous organizations, right? So by 1 year, uh, every one of these countries, by people playing the game, some countries will accumulate $10,000. Some other country will accumulate, let's say, $1 million. Some other country will accumulate 50,000, $100,000 in their decentralized autonomous organization. How does it work? Well, every token accumulated in the game goes into the DAO, the community pot, and whoever owns the token this year, and we need $50,000 for this project. So now everybody that owns a token is to welcome our people in the new economy. Is to We haven't been welcome in the credit financial system. And the credit financial system material and sell it to other markets. So that's the answer of token war. So just so where do you start after all this explanation? Where do you start with the token war? Well, it's pretty simple. You start by sponsoring one player for $3. From that $3, $1 will go to the DAO. That's the community part that goes into the token. Okay. Go to the charity trust, and $1 will go to a they're increasing the value of the token right here, and that value of the token they can consume local product. So where you start right here by sponsoring one player or by investing $3 into the economy. Because guess what? Because of the technology of blockchain, you can cash out anytime. We are not talking about a Ponzi scheme where, and we're not talking about a meme coin where you're inviting people to buy into a token and you're waiting for the more people to arrive so you can rug them. What we're talking about is you sponsoring a player that's going to generate 10, you're sponsoring with $3 with a potential of generate $10 in advertisement revenue. And as they're generating that revenue, we are buying inventory that they're going to be able to purchase with their tokens. Okay. BlackRock, Vanguard, and other VC or investment firm advertisement. And you test it out. The opportunity cost is $3. You sponsor a player for $3. You already have 880 players that are waiting for sponsorship in order for them to start generating advertisement income by playing the game. Okay, these players are in Jamaica, they are in Black America, Kenya, Nigeria, Haiti, and they're waiting for sponsors to come in. So start sponsoring a player for $3. That's it. You can sponsor a player. Let me see if it will work here. It's my first time using that platform. I'm going to try to see if I can share a screen with you. Share screen. Okay, share screen. Let me see if we can get there. Okay, I'm going to share the screen. Bear with me. Okay. So we add to stage. I'm gonna remove this one. All right. So if you see the screen, this is the game. Okay. It is a basic game. As you can see, you see the logo of USAID. If in the game you stumble on the USAID logo, it explodes and you die, right? Because we're not playing for funds, we're playing for fun. And we are funding our economies by playing the game. Okay. So in that game, every token that you collect in the game have a real impact on the token on the open market. You go to TokenWar.World, okay, and you'll be able to uh, start the process. Okay, so let me stop this. Now I'm gonna try to share a screen. Share screen window. There you go. Hope this time is gonna work. Hopefully you're seeing the screen right now. Head to stage. So basically, for those people that just, I see the numbers are increasing. So for those that are joining us, I'm showing you how Token War game works. I'm having some technical difficulties right here. Okay, I see that you can see the screen now. Okay. So let's go ahead. Hopefully you'll be able to hear the video. Okay.
ID.
All right. So that was an introducing video. Okay. We make it really simple for everybody to understand. Okay. So the first step is the players, they receive free tokens. Okay. So the game will be token gated. That means if you don't have the token in your wallet, you won't be able to play the game. But we are leaving it open for now. And when you're sponsoring the game, actually you're financing the distribution of the token to the players in Africa, in the Caribbean, in Black Africa, etc. So you go right here, you apply to receive your token. That's the country you want to play for. You enter your wallet address. Okay, you enter your X, also email address, WhatsApp number if you have them, and there you go. We're going to forward that, and then we send them the token at their addresses. So let me show you the game live, how you can play it, actually play the game. Hopefully you see the screen that I'm showing you. Okay, so the game is it's pretty it's straightforward. Everybody has played this type of game. Bang, and then I die, right? And then I retry. And when you look at the ranking, you see every time the game is played, the the score is updated. Okay, so if somebody will play for Captain Jamaica now, in real time, the score will go up every time somebody playing the game. Okay, now it's every minute the score is updated. Okay, so I'll just give you an example. Let me just play Captain Jamaica. Play now. Okay, and I decide to play the game. Uh, yeah, I know. Let me try again. Basically, boom. Yeah. And now when I go back to the ranking, you're gonna see that my score went up. Okay, so it's gonna update the score right here. So basically, uh, you have a live update. The whenever somebody buys the token, it increase the value of the token right here. Okay. Now, when we talk about advertisement, which is a very important part of every endeavor, etc. So let's look into the advertisement part. So we made it easy for anybody to target the celebrity of their country. For example, if we look, you see here, you decide to send a message to Sean Paul, right? You enter your X handle. I don't think it's going to work here because I don't have my X account. And I click on post. So it's going to open your X account either on your cell phone or on your laptop. and it's going to populate the message inviting Sean Paul to compete and to share to help recruit more players for your captain token. So for Black America, you have Usher right here. For Benin, you have Angelique Kidjo. Basically, every country we have selected the top artists. You have Kodak Black right here, Jason Derulo, uh, right here. So if you invite Jason Derulo, he gets a message. You receive 620 Captain Haiti token, and we do that all the way up to 1 million token in order to make it easier for you to promote your token, to promote it, and to make it viral. Now, if you look here again, you have uh, a few vendors that have already registered in Kenya. You have a tomato vendor. Right now, by the price of the Captain Kenya token, which is 0.000039, well, it takes 7,715 Captain Kenya token to buy one tomato. But as people are playing the game, it increased the value of the token, so it should cost less Captain Kenya token to buy one tomato. So at one point, hey, it's going to cost a fraction of a Captain Kenya token to buy one tomato. We also have a Kenyan designer here where it costs 1.5 million Captain Kenya token to buy one piece of jeans, and if one piece of jeans, one pair of jeans, sorry. And you have cabbage in Kenya, you have linen as well. So as you can see, we are pretty well advanced into the development of the token war concept. Okay, and right now what we are doing is showing you exactly economies. Because if you ask, uh, I'm Haitian, right? And if you ask somebody like a French, don't start telling them about the IMF. Don't start telling them about how our government are being destabilized by by their government. It's going to take what? It's going to take a 10-hour conversation. So you just spent 1 hour, 2 hours, let's say 7 hours or 3 days, uh, a week exchanging with them, convincing them that the problem is within their government, and the only power they have is a power of one vote every 4 years when it comes to the Congress, etc. Right? So what are we doing? So the power of decentralization is it brings the responsibility to you. Say, you know what? I'm going to sponsor a player for $3. Out of that $3, $1 is going straight into the local economy for the token. And now, from the revenue of the advertisement and the revenue of the sponsorship, part of that revenue is put into a decentralized autonomous organization. And when you have that money in the decentralized autonomous organization coming from the advertisement of people playing the games, now you can allocate these funds into your education, your healthcare. You can allocate it into your innovation. You can allocate it to infrastructure. And people owning the token are the one voting. that is not generating value other than people buying into it. No, this is wrong. What you do, you sponsor one player, back up the youth, back up the Gen Zs. Instead of marching the street to or creating riot to oppose their government, get them to stay home safely and get them to play games. Because as they're playing their games, they're building their economy, right? As they're building their economy, they're able to consume products, local products, right? They don't need to wait for the government to establish grants, etc., for their community. And because of the DAO, sorry, because of the DAO, they don't need to wait for the government to invest in the educational system, on the healthcare system. The DAO itself is generating enough revenue for you guys to decide with your tokens to vote which social program you're going to finance. This is how it works. So if you want to, hey, let me go ahead and invest $3 in the economy, you can do it. I don't recommend it because the real value is right here. And that value is generating $10 right here. Would you rather put $10 into a token and waiting for somebody else? Would you rather put $3 into a token and waiting for somebody else to put $3 and somebody else to put $3? Or would you rather to put $3 into one player? And that player has nothing else to do but generating $10 to increase the value of your tokens. So we have to be logical. Are we looking into a get rich quick scheme? Or we're looking into being first into an industry that is booming? The African market is $3 trillion booming economy, right? They're adopting crypto year over year, I think it's 30% year over year. That's where you want to invest, not into a meme coin. Please don't make it. I think I'm going to take out this option because you cannot make turn these tokens into meme tokens. I'll give you an example. Let's take the housing market, okay? So just to bring it home to you, I was just talking to a friend of mine that is a realtor. And Pompano Beach, if you don't have $350,000, you cannot buy a property. She have a couple. Their household income is $90,000. That's the household income, okay? They made an offer on a property in Pompano Beach at $250,000. A few years back, she wouldn't have recommended anybody to buy any property above $125,000 in the same area. But right now, you're lucky. You're lucky if they are lucky if their offer get accepted. They put $361,000 offer on a property of $350,000. You know why people have to put up so much money and it's so hard to qualify to have a home? It's because of the speculative market and real estate. You have VC firms that are buying houses from the retail market, and they keep their inventory of houses off the market. So it puts a pressure on the market. So there's less inventory, so the value of the homes go up. So people are taking what is really essential for our quality of life, the opportunity to generate, to create generational wealth. They use their capital and they're taking houses, they're taking houses out of market. So people are looking to buy homes, but all that is in the market are houses. Do you understand what I'm saying? All that is left on the market are houses, but people need home. You can turn a house into a home. Without a family into a house, you don't have a home. You only have a house. So that's the speculation that I'm talking about. And this is what these meme coins, the Bitcoin and all that, This is what they're creating speculation. We want to store the value. Now, people are storing value where? They're storing value in real estate and houses. The houses are not made in order to store value. The houses are made in order to be home for other people, but people want to capitalize on it. So let's bring it back to token war. So when you decide to sponsor one player, you're you're giving a job. You're giving a career to a player over there in Africa, Caribbean, etc. If I will say it like that. So you're enrolling people to generate $10 per thousand plays for $3. Now you're building something that is valuable. And as you build something that is valuable, other people will come and invest. The same way people come and invest into houses that's supposed to be homes, they'll come and invest and increase the value of your token. But start with the sponsorship. You receive some tokens, you get the kids going by playing games. You also support the local economy, okay? And then, okay, do both. If you really want to do the invest in the economy, do a sponsor a kid, and invest $3. Do both. That's the right balance, okay? Because you do want to see the value of the token grow and etc. But what I'm telling you right now is the future start here, okay? So how do you start? This is how you start. Scan the QR code or go to TokenWar.World, like you can see in the logo. TokenWar.World, and start playing the game, okay? And start sponsoring. When you go to TokenWar.World, you can start sponsoring. So let me add this. In a second, remove from studio. Let me show you this. Add to stage. All right. So let me show you to conclude. Sadly, I cannot take uh, questions because I'm not set up for that. But if you want to sponsor, you play the game. Once you're in the game, all right, let me show you. Once you're on you go TokenWar.World, you choose your captain. Menu. And if you want to sponsor 10 kids, you can do as low as one kid, right? You can sponsor 10 kids, and as you can see, empower empower 10 kids, grow your business. Okay. So you sponsor kids as you want to sponsor them. Oh yeah, it's the I'll post the link to start sponsoring with one kid. You can sponsor one kid, but I have to activate it. Okay. So and this is how you sponsor. If you prefer to invest, you can invest $3. Okay. You can invest now. And even if you don't have a wallet, you can start investing at $3 right here. You pay through PayPal. Okay. Or you can invest on your captain token of your choice. You choose a captain that you want, and you just start trading for Solana. Okay. So you buy your token right here on Solana. Okay. So this is what we have now. I'm grateful for you for joining us. Let me try to get on the LinkedIn just to see if anybody have posted a question. I see that most people participating are on X. Um, Let me see if I can get to my X people through my account. Um, so this is the token war. and how you can take advantage of $3 or just play the game. Um, Profile. So if you have any questions, uh, you can reach me anywhere at TokenWar.World on every handle. Um, Drop me a DM on X, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions uh, regarding your regarding Token War and how you get in, etc. So thank you, everybody, and let's get it started.